Hey guys, well, welcome back to the channel. It's me again, Jazzlegra, and let's talk burnout, okay? Which someone told me that you're not really burned out. You are emotionally exhausted. And at this point, that terminology sounds much better than me just burning out. So I feel like we all have a general understanding of what burnout is, right? But like, how do you recognize that you are falling down the rabbit hole here? What burnout looks like, what emotional exhaustion looks like, how that manifests, where you can be like, that's it. Changes in your normal pattern. That's like your sleep, your diet, the things that you would normally do and not even like think about it. You're following what you would normally eat. You're not eating more of this and less of that, less of this, more of that. You know where I'm going with this. It is something out of your norm, and that is only specific to yourself. Like, no one else could recognize you're normal than you're normal, except for somebody who's like probably living in the house, sleeping in the same bed with you, maybe your mama. I don't know, but like besides that, that's a you thing. Okay, next are mood swings. And if you're a girly out here in these streets, I'm not talking about PMS. I am talking about being easily irritated on stuff that would never really irritate you at work. Okay, that would take you a long time to get irritated, because there are plenty of things that irritate me at work that I just have to just swallow and close my eyes and let it roll off. Just water off a duck's back, just let it go. But I know that I am already spiraling down the rabbit hole when I can't even close my eyes and just like, let it go. Let it go. The next, I can't see what the hell I'm doing. You know, TikTok artists who like braid their hair, they have like the whole like a 3 thing mirror going on here using their camera, and I'm on a wing and a prayer from the Lord and hoping that all of this turns out right, as it usually does. It usually turns out quite decent. I would not call it neat. I would not say, come to me, sis, and let me do your hair. Because, well, actually, probably, because then I'll be able to see. I'm just this blind thing. I could really get up and go find me another mirror. But next one here is one that's pretty hard for me to recognize in myself, because I flip shifts. I'm not just totally a day nurse, nor am I totally a full-on night nurse. I've done shifts on a contract where I literally was doing both. And being on this side, I really don't get used to the time change at all. I don't know what it is. I just can't get used to the time. I can't get used to the time on the West Coast here. Here, oh my gosh, I still wake up like it is East Coast time. If anybody has any real things about jet lag, I have yet to master it, wink at it, anything. Okay, but it's constant fatigue. Just always feeling tired. I am, right now, I've slept the majority of the day. Exhausted. Like right now, I can jump in this bed and knock out. It's like I can't catch up. But I don't know if that's burnout or You're on your turf and you know what it is to be overly tired, and that's not your thing, and you just can't catch up on sleep, and there's no other explanation for it. Like you have a whole house full of kids. Constant fatigue is another sign of you're spiraling down that lovely hole of burnout or emotional exhaustion. Another one is feeling unmotivated and like dissatisfied just in your position where you are. And I feel like nurses get into this emotion often more than anything. I feel just maybe you started off on the med surge or a specialty that you didn't really start off, and you're just like, I'm just gonna sit here for a minute because it was my foot to get in the door, and I'm gonna get this or whatever, and blah blah blah, and then somehow you get pigeonholed into that position. I mean, if you are that nurse or that situation has happened to you, raise your hand. It's me. I worked at a hospital that I wanted to work at. This hospital. Why? Because the hospital was close to my house. And I was like, whatever. I did clinicals at this hospital. I loved this hospital, okay? Mainly for the proximity, honestly. Top dog proximity. And then and the sister hospitals were just even closer. Like, it wasn't so far away if you had to work at the sister hospital. But I wanted to work at the main one because it was a trauma center and I wanted to be with the trauma people. Hardcore Sally. And I wanted to be either ER or the trauma ICU. I wanted to be in the thick of it, okay? In the thick of it. But at the time, because now this hospital system has like a whole residency program, yada yada yada. So like those kind of opportunities are quite more obtainable for new grads. Okay, for this dinosaur here, sis, you had to know somebody to know somebody who knows somebody to know somebody. And your girl didn't know nobody. I knew me. And knowing me was not helpful at the time when I was applying for jobs. It was not. But I got on a telemetry floor. It was telemetry trauma. And we had some problems there. We did. As we discovered we unlocked a new level of nurse bullying. It was like, oh, wow. But yeah, I moved around in the hospital to most likely like a lateral move in different positions, different areas. And then, every time I try to like advance up into a more critical care area, I would get the same answers of, oh, well, you've been doing that so long, or your manager says you're really good at that. All things where it sounded more like a compliment, but also an insult at the same time. Right? You're good at what you're doing, but you can't leave, but we don't want you to leave. But we would love for you to advance yourself, but not advance yourself. It was very confusing, and that was the most unmotivated thing. And that's what made me so unmotivated, so dissatisfied, because I was fighting an uphill battle. And I couldn't even see the finish line. I couldn't even have a delusional thought about, oh, that's how the finish line looks. Look how it looks so good. Because there was a wall. Even if I made it up the hill, the wall was there. And I couldn't get around this wall. I did so many other things to try and get around this wall, to make myself look even more competitive and more versed. And somehow I made myself indispensable in the freaking position that I was in. blah blah blah. They would even go as far as you would be so bored if you do that, if you take that position, if you move that way. I mean, it was, I do digress. I do digress. It was quite hard. I mean, if that's not your issue and you love the floor that you're on, the specialty that you're in and whatnot, but you are still feeling that unmotivation and that dissatisfaction, honestly, same, been there too. I love the floor that I started on. I mean, I've never met these girlies that I trauma bond with, you know what I mean? So yeah, we had a time, but the unmotivation and dissatisfaction was the lack of support that we felt when that nurse bullying situation happened. It felt like everything that we said about this particular person was because this person was in a higher position than us on the unit. Fell on deaf ears. You know what I mean? They could do no wrong. We must have misunderstood the situation. Is how it basically boiled down to. And I think that's how we all moved in different spots in the hospital after a while, because it was the same old. It was the same old song and dance, you know? And after a while, the same song is going to get so played out. So played out. Ooh. Especially when it's not the song you want to hear. Like, that's not your jam. You're like, okay, just one more time. You hear it one more time and they're like, one more time? You're like, no more. Physical symptoms. Headaches. Stomach aches. I would even venture to say the pre-work anxiety, during work anxiety, post-work anxiety, the dread that if you don't even want to label it as anxiety, label it as just dread of starting that shift, because you already know what foolishness, okay, all of that is going to happen on shift, because you know the lack of support or whatever is not there for you to be here doing my hair. But thank you guys for watching this whole entire video. If you made it all the way to the end, let me know which specialty you are in, or just give this video a thumbs up because it does help my videos. I told you today, let me be the first to say you will and you are a great nurse. See you in the next one. Done, guys. I think it came out okay. I could have done better, but I know what to do for next time. But as far as this product, I think I did okay. Yeah. Bye.